here's the way that went. This is how secretive the thing was. When they extracted me, I was taken to a little cabin, and when I mean little, I mean you can stand to this wall and go and hit the other wall. It was that small.
Yeah.
And that's where I was.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to go anywhere, and they told me this. They said, you will stay here. And then you had to get on the phone with the shrink and talk about your feelings and your mother and all that to make sure that you were still okay. And so they gave you, you know, time to kind of reacclimate, but we were not allowed because some of the townspeople had seen us. We were somewhere else isolated. They were not allowed to see us again. What we looked like when we came out, if we came out, I never saw anybody else.
Yeah, we never saw anybody. They would come and ask you, or come and check, say, what do you want for breakfast, what do you want for lunch, what do you want for dinner? I asked for steaks one time. I'm like, I want to make a steak and, you know, some potatoes. They bring me a steak, I want a steak. And the little cabin I was at had a little, like, open fire pit grill kind of a thing, and the people that owned the cabins weren't so happy with the fire I built, but it worked. Great steak. Best I ever had. Big fire.
Home blows insurance.
Yes, sir.
Chris, can I go back to your opening remarks?
Yes, sir.
You've gotten rid of your the publisher.
Yes.
What's the story with Renegade Man?
Ramblin' Man?
Ramblin' Man, yeah.
Ramblin' Man was, Amazon contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in writing a novella for them in their Kindle Worlds series, which is something they just recently launched. So they took Stephen Conkley's series, The Perseid Collapse, which includes the Jakarta pandemic, the Perseid Collapse, and they have other authors that write stories that are set in his world, in the world he created, his time frames and stuff. And I just thought it would be fun. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so I wrote that, you know, short little novella, and it's on Amazon now. You can get it there as Kindle only, though, and that's the only way it's available. It'll never be in print or anything like that. But it was just kind of fun to step out of the box for a while, too, and write something other than the series for a bit. Because when I got back to the series, I realized how much I missed it, and I had a lot of fun with stuff that I didn't know was in my head, but it all came out, and I think the next book's going to be really good. You guys are going to like it.
So the next series won't have anything to do with that?
Now, there may be a sequel to that later. Because, you know, if the last of it, you should know there's something else coming.
Yep.
So.
Yes, ma'am.
For each one of you, what was your motivation for doing this?
The question was, what was our motivation for doing this individually?
Insanity. Well, you know, when you live in the community we live in, we practice survival skills, we practice prepping. It's kind of a test, you know. It's the proving ground. There's no BS here. This is it for real. And so that was the motivation. I mean, I didn't need to go to Vancouver, but it was fun. I mean, I get to go camping for, you know, and I'm out. Yeah, hey, I'm in. Let's do this. But you know, as you guys will see, there's the romance of the wilderness and there's the reality of the wilderness, and reality sucks. This isn't, you know, when your friends say, well, I'm grabbing my bag and bugging out to the hills, they just say, you know, leave a will, you know, Hail Mary, see you, bye. It is a harsh, harsh existence. You know, we don't live that way for a reason. I like air conditioning. I like a soft bed. I like a solid roof. But I still like to go out and play in the woods. But when you're living that way, it's a different reality entirely. I mean, a weekend's one thing. But see, there too, we didn't know how long we were going to be there. Naked and Afraid, 21 days. You can sit down and not move for 21 days and walk out. You know, you need a little water, you don't need food, you don't need anything. If you can just sit down and keep from getting killed, you can walk out in 21 days. For us, that wasn't the option. It was, I'm trying to outlast these other 9 idiots. And they're all dumber than I am, so I need to really suck it up. So there was no time limit. You didn't know how long you were going to be there. The other side of the coin is you knew at some point you were going to leave, and that if you decided you wanted to, you could. So that puts a different element to it too. That will keep you from doing things or maybe cause you to do things you wouldn't ordinarily do if it was a full-on real scenario. But this is as close as you'll get to an actual, the fecal matter's hit the oscillator and you just found yourself in the woods stranded with no way out. So. Go ahead.
Oh, for me, I don't know what the motivation was. It seemed good idea at the moment. You know, pack of survival. I was at work actually. I had got back from work from the bush. We go into a city to bed down every night in a place that's a team house. It's got a barricade around it. It's a little bit safer than just staying in a random hotel in East Africa. So I was sitting in my room and thinking about what I'd want to do this or not. And I was like, you know, every day I get up and I pack a bag of survival equipment to go out, drive an hour out into the savannah to work, and you know, maybe this would be a good idea. And the big thing for me too was meeting a whole new group of people. I was like, you know, I work with the same kind of people, same mentality. Most of them are expats or soldiers that have, you know, old soldiers like me that have gotten away from the military and have gone into contract world. And to me, it was also kind of a way to get away and to meet a whole new group of people, the people in Hollywood, the people in New York, these folks here. So it's, you know, it was a no-brainer for me, honestly.
I got a good one for you. What, knowing that your wives probably think you guys are nuts anyway, what was their real reaction to you saying, oh yeah, I'll go do this?
My wife said, don't get killed. That's it. I've spent a lot of time working away from home in the past. I mean, you know, I've been gone from home 6, 8, 9 months at a shot. So it wasn't that big a deal at my house. They were all just like, yeah, come back, don't die. My wife's like, make sure I know where the insurance policy is before you leave. Okay.
Yeah, we've got 3 small children at home.
Me too.
And
well,
so when this opportunity came, naturally I jumped on it. I was like, when are we leaving? And then the other, my next thought was, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You're going to pay me to go to the woods? Okay. Oh, okay, throw me in the briar patch, I'll go.
Chucky darn.
Yeah, ultimately, it was, for me, like these guys said, it was a test. I wanted to go out there and go all the way and hit a wall. I wanted to go until I just squeeze it all out and just go until I fell over. And we pretty much did that.
When he squeezed it all out, he saw the sun.
Did I?
Yeah, since you all have trained for this, and you, at least 2 of you have mentioned this is part of a test for yourself, individually, what was the one thing you think, man, I wish I had prepared more in this area? What realm would you think I should have worked harder on that area?
Should have argued for them guns
question.
longer.
That's a good question. Yeah, we should negotiate for more money, first of all. It's suffering, you know, money. Scale. No, I think for me, it was trapping. I trap well here. I know botany here. I know all types of stuff to eat. Up there, it was such a foreign environment. It was kind of a trial and error thing. It was more important to know conceptually what to do and just go through the process of tweaking and trial and error. So, yeah, I guess for me it would have been that. And I mean, to go from knowing all the botany in an area, or a good part of it, and up there I looked around and I thought, well, there's a lot of green stuff.
And I was the same way, because I'm from the swamps of the southeast. I'm from Florida, and I spent time up here in the Carolinas and whatnot. I'm comfortable in wet places when it's 90 degrees. And I know, like he said, I know what I can eat, what I can deal with. I might as well have been on the moon. I mean, it was, you know, how big are these trees? I mean, and what the hell can I do with them? You know, where's the palmettos at, you know? So it was a absolute foreign place to me. I mean, no knowledge of it, no, oh hell, what am I going to fall back on now? You know, so it was scary, actually. When you first get there and you realize, oh shit. So.
How was the end date decided? Is that something you guys?
We decided. Yep. You came out of your own volition. No one came and got you. No one said, it's time for you to go. You pulled the plug on yourself.